This is a really old computer. Yes, guys, we'll be restoring this computer in this video. This video took very long to make, so I appreciate it if you subscribe and like the video. Anyways, backstory on this computer, I found this on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, I just had to get it. It's a super old system. It's like from, I'd say between 2001 and 2006. It's got an AMD Sempron something GPU and CPU, because it has no graphics card. As far as the case goes, nasty, dust everywhere, as you may expect. It's a 20-year-old system. You know, you don't find these anymore in these computers. It's got a DVD drive and a floppy disk reader. Now, the case out of the way, the motherboard is like an Asus something. I don't even know the name of it. As far as RAM goes, only 1 GB of RAM. It's crazy, like only 1 gig. So I went ahead and took apart the whole computer, and I started by repasting the thermal paste off the processor. It didn't take too long. It honestly took like 5 minutes because I used 90% isopropyl alcohol. Again, you can see me just wiping it down with a Q-tip without alcohol on the Q-tip. Super easy process. It's a similar process when you do it with like the consoles, like the 360, Xbox 360, all those kind of consoles. As expected, the thermal paste was very hard. Like, it got hardened over time. That's always expected with every computer, every old console, you know? But, to be honest, again, really easy to remove. Like, super duper easy. Okay, so we finally got the retention arm on. You can see. There it is. It literally took like 20 minutes to put it on. I was literally sweating because I didn't want it to break because it was like kind of fragile. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. It's good enough. I haven't really dealt with these retention arms. There's a newer generation of these like kind of CPU cooler holders, kind of, where there's like a thing you just bring up and it'll just release it. But these older ones, my original Xbox has something like this too. All original Xboxes have that. You just gotta like kind of pry it off. But yeah, with that off, we can put the fan back on. If you're wondering what kind of fan this is like a an AMD stock cooler from like 2001. Very old fan, very old. I have a gaming PC myself, and I have the AMD stock cooler. AMD's gone far with their coolers, so props to them. It's a little dinky cooler back in the day. But, actually, what they put with this computer is actually put a, I don't know what this thing is, it's like old computers have this. They have this thing that the fan goes on top of, so the fan will go on top of this, essentially. I washed the CPU cooler and this thing and the fan, not with soap and water because I'll get one because there's a wire. But the CPU cooler and this thing I washed because they're full of dust. Wish I got it on camera, but put that down there. If we take a look at this case, in the intro I didn't really go in depth, but this is what the case looks like. It has a DVD drive and a floppy disk reader little thing. It's the power switch right there. Reset. If we open up this little area here, it reveals 2 USBs and a microphone thingy. That's kind of cool. Don't exactly know what model case this actually is. Again, like the other computer I have, the Windows XP computer. I don't know if you guys know, but I have a Windows XP system. I had it for years, like 20 years. This is the same, pretty similar. One area this computer is similar to the one I have upstairs is because this has the exact same power supply that my computer upstairs has. Oh my god, look at that dust though. When I rub my thumb. Oh my god! That is gross. Yeah, there's like dust coming out of there. That's kind of gross. I think this is like a 300 watt power supply or something. I believe. I think. Don't exactly know where it says that. Oh yeah, there it is. Max output. 300 watts. So this is a 300 watt power supply. You don't really need a big power supply for these computers because, again, very, very small power they use. I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing back on. It came with 4 screws, the black ones right there. Yeah, it's screw them on each individual corner. But yeah, this goes on like this. It stays on. Literally just clipped, it's slotted right in because it's the same size as the cooler, right? So It's kind of designed for it. My Windows XP system, I took it apart and it's similar to this. I didn't mention the motherboard name in the intro. I'm gonna identify this motherboard. This is an Asus A758X-MX motherboard. So if you're wondering, that's the name of this motherboard. Again, let's take a guess. I'm guessing this computer came out between 2001 and 2006, maybe early 2007 at the most. Got the old school AMD stock cooler. I've never seen these before. My other one it's a Tsunami Dream case, so it has a Tsunami Dream stock cooler. But damn, this case is old, really old. I kind of like that thing. I'm gonna go ahead and put the fan on. Right back. So unfortunately, today I am working on the floor. No, I'm not. I am not working on the table because it's a very dusty system and I don't want it to get on my table. So I'm working on the floor today because I'm cool. We have the stock AMD cooler. Again, this thing just slots right in. This other piece, it just slots right on the cooler. So I put some fresh MX4, Arctic MX4. I use it for all consoles I do, computers. I use it for my personal gaming PC. Really good thermal paste. Recommend it. $10 on Amazon. Anyways, this cooler, there's a plug-in right here on the motherboard, like every other motherboard. There's like it's like tangled. The cable, see that? It's tangled. See if I can undo that. But this would be a full restoration of this PC. Unfortunately, it did not come with a hard drive. Don't exactly know why. I'm guessing this was someone's personal computer. Again, if you're wondering how much I paid this computer for, literally got it for $10. It's crazy. I literally got this whole computer for $10. It was just the computer itself. No other, like, no power plug, no VGA, because these computers don't take HDMI like the newer ones they take today. But I gotta say, this is a mint computer. I mean, sure, it's dusty. It's never been taken apart before, obviously. I can tell. But it's not that bad for normal uses if this had a hard drive. Because when I turned it on for the first time, I realized it would boot to Windows. And I forgot that it had no hard drive. So they must have kept the hard drive because they had, like, maybe pictures on it or whatever. Whoever I bought this from. But yeah, this fan just goes right on. It just sticks right on. Let me just dry this real quick with the cloth. It's a little bit wet because I washed it with soap and water. I'm trying to give you guys like a top-down view. Maybe I can with the case. Hold on. All right, so I moved my camera to a better location. I'm sorry if you can see my legs. Don't just ignore that, I guess. I have my camera in the case. It's like leaning on like something on the case. Anyways, with that out of the way, we have the stock cooler. Just ignore my legs, alright? Just pretend they're not there. We have the stock cooler right here. This is an AMD cooler. The old school ones. I just said before. Really good. The fan works. Don't get me wrong. We're going to go ahead and place it on here on the cooler itself. So we're going to go ahead and put that on. I think it doesn't really matter which orientation you put it. Just as long as you can get the cable to plug in right here. There's a little... My gaming PC has this too, my modern one. I'm gonna put it this way. Actually, no, I'm gonna put it this way, like that. There we go. And then you just want to plug it in, like. And again, to clean this fan, all I used was a paintbrush. This little guy right here. That's literally all I used to wipe that fan down. Before it was like all dusty. It was bad. But let's place it on the fan. First, we're gonna screw it in. So we have these 4 screws here. These just go in like this, and you just screw them in. I don't think this bit will work. No. But I can't get this thing off. I'll be right back when I get this bit off. Okay, so I got the bit off with some pliers because that's like the tiniest bit. It's a T5 bit that was. We need these bits over here. I got a whole kit here of all these heads. We're just gonna get like this one. Put it on the screwdriver, and we're just gonna screw this thing in. Hopefully it screws in. Oh yeah, it's screwed in. These 4 screws pretty much hold in the stock cooler, so it doesn't fall, obviously. I don't really know to stop. I think that's pretty tight, yeah. Now, when you're screwing things in, I say this in almost every video I do, screw it in a cross pattern so you're applying even pressure. Because if you screw it in like from one side to the other side, it just won't be even. So you want to screw it. So I screwed the first screw here. Now I'm screwing it on the opposite side, the diagonal side. All right, that's in. That should just plug in. I haven't really dealt with taking apart computer. I've dealt with a few, don't get me wrong. Like a Dell Optiplex, I've dealt with the Windows XP computer upstairs that I have. But this one, I haven't taken apart this kind of computer before, so I've taken apart a few general computers. Like Dell, taken apart a few Dell computers, Thermaltake ones, but I don't know. Now, you might be wondering, why is the motherboard like a yellowish orange color? Well, good question. My Windows XP computer upstairs, the main one I have, is a red motherboard, an MSI motherboard. So, back then, they would make motherboards like different colors. They still do today. It's either green or black now, today. But back in the day, oh, that's a pretty tight fan. Okay, and now what you want to do is you want to just plug it in. It's literally that easy. You just grab that, just plug it right in. Like that, there. You don't have to do cable management because there's like a side panel you just plop on the case because they're like older computers. Bro, this is like a trip down memory lane. This is like old tech right here. Make sure that the screws are like tightened. There. Okay, with the stock cooler on, I think we can go ahead and take a look at the RAM. This is, as far as RAM goes, yeah, as I said in my intro, 1 gig of RAM, 1 gigabyte, literally, 1 gigabyte of RAM. There, you can see, DDR1. Now I got things like DDR5, I think DDR6 is starting to become a thing with RAM. Bro, it's still got the warranty void. You see that? Warranty. Warranty void if removed. Damn. This is obviously a pre-built computer. But it was like dusty. Like, it was a dust box, not even a computer. But yeah, we got 1 gigabyte of RAM. This specific one is 1 gig. Then we have a little 256 megabyte of RAM stick. 256 megabytes. Right there. So I'm guessing it has 1 gigabyte and 256 megabytes. So I'm guessing it's 1.256 gigabytes. I don't know, but we'll just say it has 1 gigabyte of RAM. The RAM slots have like dust here. I have to clean it off with my paintbrush, which I had for a couple months now. But installing RAM is very easy. Even with modern computers today, you still do it the same way as opposed to, you know, modern computers and older computers. All you do is just slot it in like this, let it up, like that, and then you just push down, and then you just put the things on there, these little clips. You hold it. Hold on. I think I might be doing it wrong. I think it goes the other way. Yeah. Yeah, it went the other way. It goes the other way. You push down even. There we go. There we go. So you just push down. I'll do it again, in case you guys are wondering. You can upgrade this RAM, but this motherboard accepts only maximum 2 gigs of RAM, so there's really no point. So if I had 2 gigs, I'd have 2 of these 1 gigabyte sticks, but there's no point really. I looked up this motherboard. Don't know exactly when it was released. Again, just push on both sides. There. you'll hear it click. Same what goes with this one. I'll just come back when I install it. Guys, I'll show you how the CPU cooler used to look. So if you can look on my phone, that's how it literally used to look. Right there. It was very dusty along the blades. Now it's a lot better. Okay guys, so update on this PC. I installed both DIMMs around like a long time ago. I've begun to clean the power supply. Again, very filthy. I don't know. I'm debating whether or not I should open it. Probably will, because it's in really bad shape. We're actually gonna go ahead and do that right now. I apologize if it's very quiet. Ignore my legs again. I'm wearing shorts. Okay, whatever. Whatever. That's just us. Anyways, we're just gonna take apart the power supply. I never actually been inside these, but I gotta be kind of a little bit careful here because even though the computer's been unplugged and everything's like taken apart, and it could still have voltage. Yes. These power supplies may still have a voltage, so you want to be a little bit careful there. Here's my advice for taking apart a power supply from a computer. Try not to touch any of the capacitors inside, because they could still even if the PC's been unplugged for days, it could still have a voltage, which is crazy. It's pretty crazy to think about, just to put that all in, but I guess this just slides off, maybe. I don't really know how this will come off. Oh, okay. What a mean noise. And bro, if you get shocked, you're dead. Like literally. Also make sure it's off, even though it's unplugged. Still turn it off, even though it's unplugged. Bro, how do you get this thing off? This whole thing should just kind of come off, you know? Bro, how would this work? Let me get a screwdriver and pry it off. Ow. I have the exact same power supply in my old PC, so it'd be cool to take a look at what's inside a power supply in a computer. Because I've actually never taken a power supply apart before in a computer. Oh my god, I already see dust. That's better. This should just come right off. Does this like slide or so? Oh yeah, I think it slides. God, I think it might slide. Looks like it slides or just lifts. This is a part. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm doing as we speak at the moment. It looks like this slides, but it doesn't. So I'm a little bit confused there, you know? You know what I'm saying? Taking a look at the inside, it looks like the original Xbox power supply. It does have capacitors, all that, you know? Yeah, it looks like. Okay, I actually don't know. I might actually just stick the paintbrush in there and just close it. Oh damn, that is. I'll have to get you guys to take a look in there. That looks okay. Don't lose those screws. Yeah, that's what it looks like inside. In case you're wondering. That's kind of rough. I'll just stick a paintbrush in there. No big deal. I don't want to unscrew the whole thing, you know. All right, I think we're good. Yeah, the dust is falling. Just give it a nice, good, decent cleaning, you know. Nothing crazy. Just again, try not to touch the capacitors. Now we're gonna close it. So we just cleaned it. Ow! I just cut myself. Oh, that hurts. Oh, it's bleeding. Ew, ew, ew. Ah, I hate when you cut your skin on these things. I'll be back. Okay, day 2 of working on this, restoring this computer. It is fully restored now. It works, guys. Here's a look at the inside. I cleaned everything. I cleaned the case. It was all dusty down there. I cleaned it with like disinfectant wipes. Looks like a brand new system now. But I'll show you it on and work. I don't have a hard drive for this thing, so kind of a bummer there. I'm gonna have to buy one, but they're cheap now. They're just like $10 depending on what size you get. But without further ado, let's turn it on. This is an Asus thingy. And we'll go delete to open the BIOS. There we go. So again, I need a hard drive in order to install like a software, Windows. Most likely we'll be putting Windows 10 on this thing. It will do Windows 10. It's at the bare minimum of specs, I'm pretty sure. Pray to God that it supports that, what do you call it, processor, hopefully. Sempron, AMD Sempron 2400 plus. If not, if Windows 10 doesn't work, I'll just do XP, doesn't really matter. But yeah, here we are in the BIOS menu. This motherboard is an Asus A758X-MX. Got the DVD drive to work. Doesn't come out all the way for some reason, but very minor. Got to work. Let's see if we go to chipset. It's CPU. Yeah, there you go. It's an AMD Sempron thingy. Yeah, so that's gonna end off the video. Please subscribe if you're new here. And yeah, stay tuned for my restorations.